What's good, YouTube? David Sports Cards here, back with another video. Hope you're all doing well. I had the pleasure of going to the Shriners Show, the Greater Boston Sports Card Show, over the weekend on Sunday. I was hoping that I could either go up or meet up with my good buddy Picker Jim S. at the show. He went Saturday, and Terry Francona was supposed to be signing on Sunday, so I made my plans that weekend to go on Sunday, and it just didn't line up. Terry Francona apparently still recovering from surgery. Prayers and blessings to him. I definitely wanted to take advantage of him signing locally in case that doesn't happen to be a trend for him in the future. But he canceled. Still made an amazing trip out of it. Shout out to my girlfriend Brittany, who was a total trooper walking around with me for a couple hours of the show. It was definitely an awesome time. And I did meet up with a bunch of dealers that I know, as well as my good friend Frank, formerly known as Frank MTTM. Got a nice picture with him. That'll be the thumbnail. And just talked to him a few times throughout the whole show. And it was, even for the Sunday, it was a pretty packed show. Lots of dealers dealing, lots of people buying and selling cards to the dealers, and the hobby, it looks very strong with the high-end and low-end stuff that was going on during this show, I think, as kind of a nice little capture of it. I brought some football cards to sell, and I got a nice little chunk of change for that. And I was kind of just looking for cool stuff. Terry Francona was my number one priority. That didn't end up happening, so I had even more money to possibly spend on some cards and autographs. And I honestly did a lot of picking. And you never know what you're going to find. One table had a sign that said, "Everything on this table is $2." And I got this 1978 Dave Parker sweet pin from him. I love those old school Pirates hats with the stripe. He also had this 2007 spring training scout for the Pittsburgh Pirates, Elmer Gray. I haven't had a chance to do any research on this guy and find out if he was actually employed by the Pirates or was just somebody that got this pass through the Pirates scouting offices, but just a really cool piece that for $2 I'm going to grab all day. It still has the lanyard and everything, and I found it really funny that it says no autographs. So that is just super important, that like even if you knew a guy and were able to get a pass, your pass specifically said to not be an autograph hound during spring training. So that was a really cool find. And also, there was this box from Highland Mint that has game-used authentic infield dirt from Citizens Bank Park. That's not showing up the best, but home of the Phillies, Citizens Bank Park, Highland Mint, great brand, a lot of cool stuff there, and 3 for $5. I could not go wrong with those purchases at all. And I was just doing some more like bargain bin diving to the side at first. I was waiting to pull the trigger. I knew it was the last day that they were open for the weekend on Sunday, and that if I waited longer into the show, that some of these dealers on these bigger cards might be a little more motivated to give a little bit more of a break and get the card on their way and out of their showcase. But the bargain bin stuff is still super fun. You can hobby for pennies and still enjoy. I got this Carly Yastrzemski patch, which is allegedly from his playing days. I'd never seen it before. None on eBay listed or sold. If anybody has any information about this bad boy, please let me know in the comments below or reach out to me on Instagram or if you have my number. Nice piece. I probably paid too much for it. The guy was a really good salesman, to say the least, but he was really sweet. Him and his wife had a lot of just fun stuff that wasn't cards. I met up with my good friend Charlie, who had a ton of Redman cards from a collection that he bought. And when you can get Hall of Fame Redman cards for really affordable prices, you just do it. These aren't in perfect shape, but they're just beautiful colors on these things. And this one right here is from 53, Redman, Al Shangeist. '53, Eno Slaughter. These are all without the tab. He had a few with the tab, but I wasn't looking to pay for the markup. Larry Doby, too. I didn't have a Redman of him. And like the midnight blue type thing behind him that has like kind of some gray in it. It's just so nice looking. And this one is from 1954. So it was really, really cool. Charlie always takes really good care of me. Easy enough, even though he already marked things down. If I get more than one thing from him, he'll knock money off. Got this 1967 Topps poster, Orlando Cepeda, his MVP year. Shout out Lou Rock, Baby Bull, right there. $5 for a Hall of Fame poster. Well, that doesn't have any rips all day. I love these Who's Who in Baseball books. And I have a few of them, but I was able to pick them up for $2 a piece. 1958 Who's Who in Baseball with Warren Spahn on the front. 43rd edition. And there is the man right there, Ted Williams. Don't take it personal, Matt. I'm a Red Sox guy. I have to show the Williams side over the Spahn side. And I also got the 1956 with the Duke on it, the 41st edition. And this one actually has a True Detective magazine ad on the back, which was interesting to me. Usually there's players on both sides. But just fun stuff when you can get playing days, 50s items that picture these legends. It's kind of a no-brainer to me to pick them up. They're a little harder to store because of the thickness, but definitely well worth a couple bucks. And then I kind of made my moves after getting this very affordable stuff. Everything that I've shown so far, I picked up for less than $30. So I was doing really well and saw this beautiful 1937 Dixie lid Carl Hubble. At first, I thought this was the 38, the same year that I have the Bob Feller, but the 38s have a blue image, and these 37s are a little more black. But Carl Hubble is in both sets. It's just a slightly different image, but it says the same thing. Great all-time star southpaw pitcher from the New York Giants. And this one is Reed's Ice Cream on the back, so a different back than the one that I have for my Bob Feller. And just a really awesome piece from a different year Dixie lid of Carl Hubble, guy who famously struck out the first 5 batters of an all-star game, which included Babe Ruth. So legend right there, and super stoked to add a Carl Hubble Dixie lid. But my big pickup of the show, this one dealer, father-son combo, had these progressive proofs in their showcase. And as those of you that have watched my channel know, there are a lot of square proofs out there from different sets, just from like the uncut sheets. But progressive proofs are kind of like the original printing plates. The process with the progressive proofs, I'm not going to bore you with, but they would, just like the printing plates, have different colored inks, and they would copy them over to print the sheets of cards. And this one, with the old SGC label, is listed as a 1973 Topps Candy Lids Jim Hunter progressive proof. And it's the blue, and this thing's just gorgeous. Miscut You can see that there's some sort of like team card or light situation happening on this bottom card, but just a really unique piece. I haven't been able to see a ton of these at shows outside of the National. I've bid on a few on eBay from different sets, and not 1973 candy lids, but Jim Hunter is slowly becoming one of my big vintage guys because I can get these obscure and hard to find cards of his for a fraction of the other Hall of Famers from the 60s into the 70s. And I absolutely love it because he is a Hall of Fame pitcher, absolute stud. And I feel like I got this card for a very good price. The Sun had mentioned to me the first time I walked by his table when I said it was great to see stuff like this in a showcase, that it's not so great for him that they've been there for a long time and he's getting sick of looking at them. So I knew if I waited later into the show and came back that I could convince him and his dad to give me a nice haircut to add this to the collection. As far as I know from SGC's Pop Report, this is a Pop 1. And if what I've read up on Progressive Proofs is true, there shouldn't be another blue one that is exactly like this. So really awesome piece to add to the collection of a Hall of Famer. I had an absolute blast at this show. Beautiful day, made the most of it, even though Terry ended up having to cancel. So definitely keep him in all of your prayers as he recovers from surgery. I hope when he reschedules with Shriners that I'll be able to go up and get him then. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.